I'm still greasy. Cause what?
She faking like she don't love me yet, but it's okay. She do.
What?
All right, and we're in, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our first yap session.
That's exactly what this is.
This is for sure a yap session. All right.
You gonna take them headphones off, or you gonna keep them on the whole
I
time?
have to keep them on to make sure all the audio is good.
Okay.
Did we not do this?
I don't remember, if I'm being completely honest with you.
That's crazy. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Growing Together.
Hey.
What up, do? What up, do? What up, do? What it do, baby boo? So, are you going to talk about what this podcast is about, or should I?
Well, considering I made a choice to go into this podcast episode blind, only thing I know is that the first episode, obviously, which makes a lot of sense, is just a get to know you episode. So, yeah, get to know us as individuals, as a couple, as why we're doing the podcast, that sort of thing. So, I think that's it, right?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. But at the end of the day, let's just say that this was all my idea. I
you go
orchestrated
lying.
it. How am I lying?
This was not your idea. You did not want to do the podcast.
I don't believe you.
Mm.
Let me gaslight you.
This how we starting the episode?
Absolutely. We're starting on
This is crazy.
But no, yeah, this was we thought about it like this was a good way to just document our progress as like a couple.
Well, I think for me, it's not even so much documented. I think for me, this is more so about spending, intentional time together. Like we sit at home, like with this wedding planner thing, we need to cut back on a lot of spending and all that sort of thing. So we spend a lot of time at home. But like a lot of it is, you playing your game, or I'm playing The Sims, or I'm watching a K-drama, you out here watching your podcast or something like that. So for me, it's the reason why I had this idea. It's just intentional time to spend together. And I know what a lot of y'all thinking. Y'all thinking like, oh my God, they done gave more black people podcast equipment.
Yeah, they did. They did. Actually, technically, they didn't give it to us. We're just repurposing.
But here's the thing, though. Understand that we're not aiming to be toxic or problematic. It's just us having fun. And you either follow along with the journey or you don't. And there's ain't no shame in my game. It's something we're doing, something we having fun with doing, and we'll keep doing it until it's no longer fun.
Absolutely. And that was kind of one of the rules we set for ourselves. Like, we're not trying to be somebody's goals. We're not trying to be like that.
Please don't ever make me a couple go.
Please not. We're just two people trying to figure out life together. But we just thought it was a fun way to kind of spend time together. We love yapping with each other.
Facts.
Like
and
a lot.
I personally think we're funny.
We
me
shall
funnier
see.
than him, though.
How?
I'm hilarious.
No, you're not.
All right.
How are you funny?
That's a stupid question.
How is it?
I'm not. Nope. Nope.
It makes for great television.
This ain't television.
Are there not cameras? This is not a visual podcast. It's television.
So is TikTok television?
Pretty much. It's a form of television.
Literally, shut up. Literally, shut up.
So yeah. So why did we even title this Growing Together?
Truthfully, I ChatGPT'd it.
See, that was not the story I was told. I was told that she took her time and sat down together. Okay, first of all, before we even get there, right? Before we even
we're already here.
Before we even get why we titled it Growing Together, because there's also an intentional reason behind that. Yes, we are together. My name is Ejiro, because we didn't even say our names.
Oh.
We just got to yapping.
Honestly and truthfully, I don't know if we cut out for this podcast.
I don't think so at all. But my name is Ejiro. Your name is?
Melanee.
And we are a couple.
Yes, we are fiancés.
Fiance. Shout out to Tay Cleovis.
He gonna be so pissed.
He gonna be so pissed. But if he watching, he watching. Hey man.
All right.
Shout out to you, Tay. But no, we're fiancés. We've been together almost 6 years now. We got together in, let's see if you remember the date.
2019. March 31st, 2019.
March 31st of 2019. We'll get into the story of why we got together, because that's actually one of the things that's part of this segment. But
okay.
So why now was it named Growing Together? After you ChatGPT'd, which was not the story you told me.
I felt like I sent you screenshots of all the names that I chat GBT.
Did you?
I'm pretty sure I did. You knew it was chat GBT.
Did
I don't know
I?
why you acting funny.
I really don't remember.
I thought my memory was bad. Why don't you tell it? I done did a whole bunch of yapping.
I love hearing
Your
your
turn.
voice. So we named it Growing Together because essentially, like, we're kind of growing in stages of life and also as a couple. So we've gone from like the dating phase to the relationship phase. Now we're in the fiance phase. So very soon we'll be husband and wife, which is crazy.
Insane.
Like, we're actually adults, but that's a different story entirely. And then, like, my last name is Orahoro, so growing, the O stands for the O that's soon to be our last name, and then together is us being together and growing together, and not just life, but in all ramifications, period, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so that's the thought process behind the podcast. It's not like those relationship goals podcasts. We just essentially wanted to find a way to have fun together, document and yap.
Pretty much.
Pretty much. So, with that in mind, we're going into our first question.
Okay.
One of the first questions that one of our friends asked us is, tell us the story about how you guys met.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to say this story changes every single time because she likes to leave out details. But I just want to say that I got game.
Whatever. I'm trying to decide how truthful I'm gonna be. No, okay. So we met at his probate after party.
Shout out to the Brothers of Alpha Phi Fraternity Incorporated. 1111906. Yeah. That.
Mm-hmm. And at the time, I was pursuing a music career, and my singing group was just on Empire. So like we had just come off like this huge thing. We had won their contest, and so we were able to have the opportunity to go on the show. We had like a song that we sang on the show, and so like everybody in the city kind of knew us. And so I was actually in a relationship at the time, and I was meeting my boyfriend then at his after party after I was leaving the studio.
Yep.
And him and his line brother Gabe walked up to me, and they're like, because at the time my signature in my group was like red burgundy-ish hair.
Listen, the red hair, I was like, oh, you so-and-so from so-and-so.
Yeah, he was like, yeah, you're so-and-so from so-and-so. And he was just on Empire, like, you guys are talented, like, you know, we're fans. And I'm just like, well, thanks. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was really appreciative, just being kind because they were fans.
She's trying to be nice. We full-blown fangirled.
I didn't want to put y'all business out there like
No. We full-blown fangirl. Like, it was crazy. Like, she was like a celebrity. Like, at that time, and then this is what 2016 when Empire was at its biggest?
Yeah, because we were in there. We were on the show, I think, in season 2. So, yeah, it was before, like, people stopped watching. So, yeah, we were on there. And it was literally, like, one of the biggest shows on television, if not
Empire
the biggest
was
show?
at its biggest. So, of course, she had just been on there with a girl group, had a huge part. Like, literally one of the biggest like shows in the country at the time. So of course I fangirl.
Anywho. So yeah. And like, honestly, that was really it.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was just the first meeting. And then I'm also friends with some of his other frat brothers. So like we would meet at like their other college parties, basically. Right. And I would see him and he would speak. And so like we became like friends.
Yeah,
essentially.
friends,
I think so.
Yeah. I still thought you were fine though.
And so it got to a point where he
yeah. Oh no. Tell the truth.
He loved telling you that I was like avoiding him.
I'll love to. I promise you,
DMs.
if I could put screenshots in this video, I will.
You interrupted my story.
Because you're not telling the truth.
That is the truth. I wasn't ignoring you. I said thank you. He would so basically I would post something, he'd give me heart eyes, and I just say thank you, or I like send another like a heart emoji or whatever.
I was basically talking to myself in her DMs. Like I was talking to myself, I would send you heart eyes, try to spark up a conversation. The most you would give me is a smiley face or a thanks.
Cause I mean, you know.
You would never engage in no type of conversation.
No, I mean, but at that point though, like I was in a relationship, so I shouldn't have given you.
No, you weren't in a relationship at that point.
Wasn't I? Still?
No,
we had broken up already.
You had broken up by like a year.
Oh, so you didn't? Oh, you didn't hop in my DMs till after. I mean,
yes.
I don't know.
First of all, if there's one thing I'm not a schemer. I would never scheme on somebody in a relationship. I thought you were cute, absolutely. But
I mean, that's I don't know the timeline.
That's crazy.
I don't know the timeline. Anywho, moving forward. You asked me out.
Mm-hmm.
And then we went out on our first date.
Do you remember where the first date was?
Red Smoke?
Yes, Red Smoke in downtown Detroit.
Yep. And I remember you walked me.
You walked me to my car. Like me.
You walked me to my car, and then like we had our first kiss on the first date.
Period. Game. I told y'all, I'm him. I am him.
Okay, we didn't get to the part where you messed up though.
Oh God.
So we.
Why you gotta slide that in there?
Because we continue to talk. I'm feeling them, you know.
Okay, no. Time out.
What?
You were feeling me, but you never told me.
I wasn't supposed to.
Yes, you were. Yes, you were.
That was in my playing hard to get era.
No.
You had to work for it.
I'm telling you, like, we having full-blown conversations. We talking, we kicking it.
I mean, I should have told you that I was interested. We were talking at that point.
No, that don't mean nothing. You could talk to somebody and not like them. Not once did you utter out of your mouth that I like you.
That's awkward. What I'm supposed to do is just randomly be like, you know what? Hell yeah. Like, what's that supposed to do?
I told you I liked you, though, and you didn't respond. You were like, oh, you cool.
Let's be real. I still say that now.
So my point, I was like, all right, cool.
Stop interrupting the story.
You not telling the truth.
Anywho. So it gets to the point where he is going to Chicago with his friends for spring break.
Shout out the gang.
And I text him while he's on his way there. And I'm like, just let me know when you make it to Chicago. At that point, it was nothing super, super serious as far as I'm concerned. But like, if you're driving, what's Chicago like, what, 4.5, 5 hours from here?
Something like 4 or 5 hours.
If you're driving with a group of young 20-year-olds, like, just let me know when you make it.
We were grown.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm like, just let me know, like, when you make it to Chicago. And you were there for like 3 or 4 days.
Okay. Let me give context now.
Okay.
So all of my friends it was like a group of 10 or 15 of us. Got in the car, like, all right, we broke, but we know that if we pool our money together, we can have a better spring break. We all hop in and we drive to Chicago. Bear in mind, at this time, I had just started photography. I had just bought a camera. I'm like, all right, cool. We're going to spring break. We're going as a group. This is an opportunity to kind of kickstart my photography page and, like, you know, literally have all my friends there, get pictures. We're in dope Chicago. There's like literal scenery.
What is dope Chicago?
Chicago was dope, man. Leave me alone.
Okay, there we go.
So
That's
we're in Chicago. It's dope. The architecture is dope. The people are dope. Like, this is an opportunity to get some fire content.
Okay.
So I go to Chicago, yes, in the mind of, yes, it's spring break and I'm with all my friends. We're going to have fun. But I'm there to get content.
And when I text him and told him to let me know when he made it, he did not text me. All I was asking for, hey, we made it to Chicago. I was not looking for us to have full-blown conversations the entire time he was there because, like I said, we had just started kicking it. So it wasn't that serious. I wasn't looking for that. All I asked is for hey, I made it. His spring break trip is over. Okay, let me also make clear that he didn't text me the entire time he was in Chicago. And this is when, like, Instagram stories first came out and, like, everything was on the Instagram story. And it was like, because, you know, the algorithm knows who you kind of, like,
I should have known
interact with.
I should have known I messed up then because literally you were the first person to watch every single story.
Because we have interacted in my DMs, your post was always, like, the first one that would pop up at the top. So, like, of course, I'm going to just click through.
Mm-hmm.
And so
you was clicking through, you weren't watching?
In my mind, I'm thinking, okay, he done made it to Chicago. I'm going to get a text. Next day, nothing. Posting. Next day, nothing. Posting. So he finally get back from Chicago and he texts me like, hey, I made it back to Michigan. I text back and I said, when did you make it to Chicago? Because the last text message that I sent said, let me know when you make it to Chicago. And your text message right after that said, let me know when you make it to Michigan. Or I made it back to Michigan. When did you get to Chicago?
Why you started to get angry all over?
Because there's nothing. Here's the thing. Honestly and truthfully, the reason why I was getting so angry is because in my previous relationship, what we struggled at was communication.
Oh, okay.
I'm big on communication. Well, you saying, oh, okay, like you ain't know that.
I mean,
I'm big on communication. Like just let me know. Just let me know.
I promise you, I might put that in the vows.
Whatever. and and so we get into a lot of argument, but we get into this little tiff.
You want to call it a tiff or you want to call it for what it is? You gave me an ultimatum.
I didn't get there yet. I was going to say that.
Oh, okay. You got it,
So we get into a little tiff back and forth about like, you felt like I had an attitude and I was coming at you wrong.
So you want to know how you proposed it to me? You were like, first of all, I'm grown. I'm not doing this. It's either we gonna do this or we gonna be friends.
I am 2.5 years older than
Ejiro.
Yeah. I'm 2.5 years older. But yeah, like I to me, not communicating is childish games. Not doing it. So
we had only been talking what?
No, 2-3 months.
2 or 3 months at that point. I'm like, I'm playing
sorry,
games.
Do you have to be
ain't
longer than 2 to 3 months to communicate with somebody? Even if it was a friend. If I was a friend and I asked you to tell me when you got to Chicago. That's what I thought. Ew. So he gives me, so I give him an ultimatum. And I'm like, we're either going to do this the right way and communicate, or we're not going to do this at all. And we can go right back to being friends.
Cool.
And he was like, well, we can go back to being friends.
Okay. In that stage in life, I'll be honest, I did not do well with ultimatums. You're not giving me an ultimatum, and I'm giving you what you want. I knew what you wanted.
What I wanted.
I knew what you wanted. You wanted me. You wanted to be in a relationship with me.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Brother, fine. This guy stinks.
You wanted to be in a relationship with me, so I was like, all right, cool, bet. I know this is what you want. I'm not gonna give it to you. So I was like, you know what, whatever. We can be friends. Yeah. So now I'll take over telling the story.
Cause it's the part where I'll be lying.
Yeah, because this is the part where you be lying. So she gives me the ultimatum. And at that time, like you said, Instagram literally gives you all, like, who are you had just interacted, like their content everywhere. I literally would see her all the time down my story. She'd be the first story on my posts. She'd be the first person to like stuff. This is the thing. She was continuously being a friend. She would like tap stuff. She would like stuff.
Because I said we either doing a relationship thing or being friends. Like I took that serious.
Let me finish.
All right, my bad.
You was
going interrupting you just did.
Exactly. That's the point. Whoop. It's a podcast. We interrupt each other.
Continue.
I'm leaving that in. So people see how you treat me. So she's still being a friend, but this is a difference. She's a friend on Instagram, but she would never talk to me in public.
I say hi.
You would say hi and that's it.
What else we got to talk about?
We could talk about how your day was. We could talk about everything.
No, thank you.
Whatever, bro.
I have other friends for that. Thanks, though.
So she purposely would ignore me. She'd like hi and bye me all the time. We literally would see each other. She wouldn't even hug me sometimes. She'd just wave and I'd be like, all right, cool, whatever. But literally for a year, because at that point, that was what, March of 2018 when we stopped talking.
Something like that.
Or was it? No, it was 2017. March of
2017.
March of 2017, we stopped talking. I went a year till it was over a year.
I think a little over.
It was little over a year.
He was pining.
I literally would see her everywhere on Instagram. Like I would, of course, still be sending the heart eyes and talking to myself in her DMs. I'm not afraid to admit it.
So at that point, yes, I was ignoring.
Ignore me. I'd send heart eyes. She'd ignore me. I'd say, you look cute. She'd ignore me.
Because I know.
She'd see me in person.
And I would say hi.
Purposefully, like, hi, bye, and flirt with me. And then dip. Yeah, because you always love to leave that out. Because you was flirting too.
Whatever.
You were just like, I like you, but I'm not going to tell you I like you.
Anywho, continue.
All right. So that happens. And I keep seeing her all through my timeline. I'm like, hey, we got to talk when I see you. And she would purposely avoid talking to me. Like literally for that reason. So come October of 2018, it's your birthday. Mm-hmm. And you had
Sweetest Day weekend.
Sweetest Day weekend. Her birthday falls on, first of all, I don't know what I set myself up for the rest of my life. Her birthday always falls around Sweetest Day weekend.
But no, Sweetest Day is for the guys in Michigan.
Yeah, but I always end up buying you a gift for your birthday.
I usually get you one. It's just late because my birthday comes first.
My point. So I cooked myself too. Because now it's Sweetest Day.
We'll get there. Nope. I want to tell that.
Okay. All right. So her birthday comes in October. She has a plan to go to a bar crawl, but the bar crawl sucks. Like
it was so bad.
It was
I
horrible.
went with two of my friends and it was so bad.
But if you go to Wayne State, you know Wayne State homecoming is always in October. So shout out to my LB. My LB is like, hey, I see you're downtown. We're at Wayne State. We're
Yeah, like,
grilling.
it's
It's a
Black
good time. It's Black
Homecoming, pull
Homecoming.
up.
Pull up. So she pulls up. I see her. At this point, this is midway through homecoming. I'm cooked. I am cooked. But you know what happens? That liquid courage kicked in. Because the moment I see you, I said, come over here. Come here. I have to talk.
No, that's not true. No.
What'd I say?
Well, you did. You kept saying we got to talk, and I was like, but I can't leave my friends. But I gotta go speak to. I gotta. So I kept trying to get away from you. But I did though. I successfully did that for at least like a couple hours.
So it's about packing up for homecoming. All the food's cooked. Mm-hmm. Like we're about to pack up. I see her again. I'm like, all right. I'm not waiting for you to come talk to me. Come talk to me now. I pulled you over to the car that was parked at the back, and we started having this conversation. And to keep the long story short, I basically told you, I was like, look, I'm sorry. I messed up. I have to admit this on camera. That's crazy. Mm-hmm. I said, I'm sorry. I messed up. I never should have done that. I did horrible ultimatums, right? And you were like, not paying attention to a word I'm saying. I was like, look, I promise you, if you give me a chance, you will not.
Second chance.
You have to emphasize on that. If you give me a second chance, you won't regret it. Like, I'm serious about you. Like, I genuinely see something in us. Like, we could literally do this. And you were like, yeah, okay, we'll see. I said, no, you're not walking away from here. Like, if you are serious about giving me a second chance, give me a kiss right here. And what did you do?
My dumb ass kissed you.
Yeah, I'm him. I am him.
It's great because I think we went on our second first date that next weekend. And I don't know, and now we're here.
Yeah, and then we ended up talking for about 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got together in March.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember where I asked you to be my girlfriend?
Maggiano's.
All our special events ended up being at Maggiano's for that year. Listen, first of all, Maggiano's was smart because they had a 2 for $20.
I'm screaming. Why didn't I know that?
Because you never paid attention to the menu. They had a 2 for $20, and everything you always liked was in that 2 for $20. And I was a broke college student at that time, so it was a great spot for me to always take you on dates because 2 for $20, we could get a full entree.
This
and
is new information.
Listen, game.
This is new information.
And so we got the 2 for $20. We had dinner after to be my girlfriend. What's also crazy about our anniversary is we started our anniversary at Nipsey Hussle getting shot, and at the end of it,
he was gone.
Nipsey Hussle was gone. So that's kind of something that kind of was weird bittersweet
Yeah.
about our anniversary. But it was like, dang, that's crazy for that to happen.
Yeah. So that's how we met and got together, y'all.
That's how we met and got together, and we've been together almost 6 years now.
Almost 6 years.
Favorite part of the 6 years?
My favorite part of the 6 years. You should have asked me this before the podcast because there's so many things.
Okay, so do we want to table this for an episode?
No, of course not. I can come up with something on the fly.
Okay.
And my goal is to say something that's not cliche, like, oh, my favorite part was the engagement. Like, I don't want to say anything like that. Mm-hmm. I think off the top of my head, obviously there's probably a billion and one more, but my favorite part of these 6 years, believe it or not, was the pandemic.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, we're going to have to talk about that one. That one's a big one. But I actually think I want to save that for an episode because pandemic year was very interesting for us.
Okay.
So we'll save that for an episode and we'll get more into detail on that. For me, the favorite part of 6 years for me was Traverse City.
Ooh.
Traverse City was a time.
Traverse City was a time.
But again, as we kind of grow with this podcast, we got a lot to talk about. We got 6 years worth of relationship to discover. And also whatever topics people want to send us. But yeah, that's how we got together. That's how we ended up here. And we're getting married.
We're getting married.
It's crazy. Like, I don't know where time flew and how we grew up, but like,
It's not even so much that for me. I'm trying to figure out. When I say it's not that so much that, it's not the age part that not creeps me out, but freaks me out. It's more so like, how in the world did like this feel like 6 years?
I told you we'd get here.
Like I genuinely feel like we just started dating. Like,
Yeah.
as far away as long ago as it seems, it also still feels like it was just yesterday, you know?
Yeah.
Like that's the part. Because even my mom was like, y'all been together 6 years? Like almost 6 years? I'm like, bro, that's what I'm saying.
It's
like,
crazy. We didn't see each other through the highs and the lows, but
Ooh.
we'll get to talk through all of that.
Ooh.
And this is an opportunity for us to like talk about some of the things we've been through, some of the things we're going through, and some of the things that others might want us to talk about. So yeah, with that being said, feel free to send us your questions. This has been like the first episode of Growing Together. We're not perfect. We're kind of just trying to figure out our lives together. And it's just amazing to kind of go through life with a partner. Look at you getting mushy.
A little bit. I just love you.
I love you too. But yeah, this has been Growing Together. It's been an amazing, 25 minutes, 26 minutes of yapping. Is there anything else you want to say before we lock out this episode?
You left out the part about how when we started together, started talking, you was like, I just knew you was gonna be my wife. I just knew she was gonna be my wife. And I'm just like, okay.
All right. Okay, fine. If we want to go there, let's go there. I told you within the first 3 months I loved you.
You did. You did.
I knew it from the jump.
And I said thank you.
You see how she does me, y'all?
I said thank you.
Yes, your response was
I said thank you. But then I told you that I loved you too, like what?
A month after.
Yeah, a month after.
Like exactly a month after.
I still have the video, I think, on my Snapchat. Or it's either on my Snapchat or it's on yours and you just sent it to me, where I think the night you told me you loved me, because we were on the porch at my mom's house, and you took the video and you was like, she trying to act like she don't love me, but she do. And I was like, what? What are you talking about?
I remember that.
What?
If we can find it, we'll add it. But yeah, that's dope, man.
But I mean, I don't know. That time just kind of flew for this podcast. There's so much more I could talk about.
Listen, there's no rush. We got a lot more to talk about. So feel free. We'll be posting on the stories, on our personal pages. Feel free to ask us any questions that you want us to answer. Like I said, we're not perfect. We're not trying to be perfect. We're just trying to give our opinion and weigh in on whatever it is we want to feel like we want to talk about.
That sentence almost didn't make sense, but yeah.
Yeah, that. Why you gotta call me out?
My bad.
All right, whatever. But yeah, like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff.
And make sure y'all follow us on Instagram.
Yeah.
Growing Together Pod. I haven't made a TikTok yet, but when I make the TikTok,
somebody's not doing their job.
I'm yapping.
But if I got all the digital and the editing stuff, which I'm actually very proud of myself for actually figuring all that stuff out.
We don't have an applause thing. Jinx, you owe me a soda.
All right, y'all. That's been Growing Together.
But yeah, when I do make the TikTok, it will be under the same name, Growing Together Pod. But as of right now, follow us on Instagram.
Oh yeah, follow us on Instagram. Follow us on subscribe on YouTube. Share it with your friends. This has just been the first episode. We're looking forward to more. And then, yeah, whatever you guys decide we'll talk about, whatever we decide we'll talk about, this is our podcast.
You have repeated yourself. This is the third time.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
All right, yeah.
All right, y'all. Signing off before he repeat himself for a fourth time. Bye.
Sometimes, like I said, you got to do it 7 ways, 7, All right. Bye, y'all.